Welcome to our Capital Recovery Center, where we focus on two key concepts. How can we help you with your recovery today, and what does recovery mean to you? Tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. to our coffee and conversation meeting, and Thursdays at 1 p.m. to our All Recovery meeting. For updated information, follow our Capital Recovery Center Facebook page.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Craig. I'm your recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center, and welcome to our all recovery meeting, virtual, and it's been a blast thus far. Next person.
That's my turn. Hi, I'm Raina. I'm a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery, and this is my first time, so bear with me.
Oh, she's gonna be great. My name is Michael Williams. I'm one of your Capital Recovery coaches also. Thank y'all for tuning in today. We have a few announcements, and then we'll get down to what we have been discussing this last couple of weeks. So we go through what announcement we got. Recovery on Wheels next week.
Recovery on Wheels is going to be at the Bridgeton Police Department on the 22nd.
Nice.
And then on the 23rd, they're going to be in Dorchester at Papa Luigi's on Route 47.
Yeah.
And then on the 28th, they'll be at the Millville Police Station.
All right, so that's a plenty opportunity. We'll be out there from 10 to 2 o'clock. You can come to the recovery to the Recovery on Wheels. And if you need to go away, or if you have any family members that's in need of some type of recovery support services, please just follow our Facebook page, and you'll know every location that the Recovery on Wheels will be. And just like we was just discussing, we are actually open now to the public. I know it only seems like it's been forever, but it only been 9 or 10 days. Not even next week will be 2 weeks. But you can always come into the agency and between 8:30 to 4:30. If you would like to come visit the Capital Recovery Center, you can always stop in. We would love to see you. We'd love to see you. Come on in, stop in 72 North Pearl Street, Bristol.
Great city of Bristol.
Great city of Bristol. You got that from the mayor. So we've been going over the 8 dimensions of wellness. Actually, we're going to have a Wellness Wednesday. I forgot. That's one of the things Melissa wanted us to implement, is a Wellness Wednesday, when we will be able to have everybody in their profession in these different dimensions that will come in and be a part of the Capital Recovery Center, help the participants out in different areas. But we've been going over the 8 dimensions of wellness. We have covered the emotional, environmental, financial, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, and lastly on spiritual wellness. I think they have been real good things that we have been covering. You know what was funny? This morning, or was it last night? Well, my granddaughter was laying at the bottom of her bed, and she was like, I want to do holistic stuff. I want to do, I said, so my wife asked, you know what holistic means? Because she used it, and she said, the whole like natural. I said, well, you know what? And then today, look, I came in here and looked at this lesson, and she was talking about that, and I said, all right, she's only 10, but she said, I want to do holistics. I said, all right. And she said she want to be an expert at that. So I'm gonna give her this paper when I go home. But so the 8 dimensions of wellness, we covered part 1 of this. We're gonna go over this handout right here. And it talks about how spiritual wellness unlock creativity and resourcefulness. So we're gonna go into that. You can go ahead, Craig.
All right, let's jump right into it. And so, as Mike said, we're talking about spiritual. And this article says how spiritual wellness unlocks creativity and resourcefulness. Many people who come to coaching have a desire to explore their life meaning and purpose. Maybe you recognize that feeling and crave guidance, or maybe you haven't quite identified the underlying drive. This article discusses spiritual wellness and how to improve it to build a more balanced life. A more balanced life.
We kept hearing that word, the balance.
The balance.
Yeah, because you need it.
Yeah, can't have one without the other.
Uh,
One of my favorite coaching perspectives is to hold clients as naturally creative. All right, resourceful and whole. All right, what does that even mean? It means that all those that are seeking coaching already have the answer within them. There is nothing wrong or broken about them. They simply need guidance on their journey. From my coaching experience, all coaching clients come and asking for the how. This can be what is not limited to how to get promoted, delegate responsibilities, be inclusive leaders, or establish goals aligned with their new roles. These are great coaching topics and focus areas. However, that's not what will get them the lasting change they are striving for. A major component of accessing and enabling the naturally creative and resourceful is a holistic wellness approach.
That's my man's favorite word. We got to find out what Miss Rainer's favorite word is. We all have. We gonna find it. Right? We all have. Mine is maintaining. Yeah, mine is maintaining. His is holistic. I forgot what Karen's was. She had a favorite. But right here, I like this part where he read. It says, you know, what does that even mean? It means that all those that are seeking coaching, mentorship, spiritual advice, or whatever, already have the answers within themselves. Yeah. I always talk about, no matter if I'm using it in the recovery field or the clinical field, I always talk about or use the example of getting down to the core. And I always let them know that no matter what you need, you might not know it, but you already possess what you need. The answer is in yourself. So the coaches or responsibility or counsel or whoever it might be is to try to get that person to realize, you actually had an answer to your problem. We just got to be creative in trying to point them out and show them that, you have it. I use an example of the ability when I was actively using. If they told me, if I was down in Atlantic City and I was uptown in Atlantic City and they told me that the person that had the drugs I wanted was downtown, I used whatever means necessary to get downtown. Right? Now I did all that, whatever I had to do, hitchhike, get a ride a bike, whatever I had to do to get where I wanted. I used that same enthusiasm and endurance to get it. But then my mentor said, when you get on your recovery walk, now you don't want to put too much effort in coming to this meeting. I'm telling you, you got to come to the meeting. You're like, nah, that thing downtown. He said, but when you was going to get that stuff, it was downtown and you went. So he was saying that the same thing that I needed for recovery, I had in me, but I just wasn't using it. And that's what this is saying.
Downtown.
I think sometimes too, like with a lot of people, it's like buried underneath those, like the trauma or the drug use or all different things, and you kind of gotta sift through all that to find it.
Yeah, it got pushed down, and through all those situations, it's there. It just got to get uncovered. So that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's in there like Prego.
You ever seen that commercial? It's in there like Prego. All right. Where we at? Let me see. Let me read. Where we at?
Give it a try. What is holistic approach?
All right. Let me put it up here on the screen. All right. What is holistic approach to wellness? Many areas of our lives can be easily attributed to our professional successes and subjective well-being. So it is important to consider the relationship between them. For example, personal issues may occupy our mind while we're at work, leading to a loss in productivity and engagement and possibly even job loss. Focusing on personal wellness and mending these issues can allow us to improve our performance at work. Similarly, stress at work can lead to irritability and inability to focus, We can combat this through both emotional wellness or learning to control our emotions and physical wellness, such as going on a run to improve our mood. We don't always have to be living in a holistic wellness state, but we do need to create awareness for ourselves to understand when we are in that state and when we are not. Tools like that, the self-care wheel, can reveal areas of improvement in our lives. While it's common to focus on areas like physical or personal wellness, spiritual wellness is usually the least often discussed through a critical component of holistic wellness. So when we're talking about all of these key areas, when they was talking about, I flip my page back over. It says we can combat this through both emotional or learning to control our emotions. I solved some of my problems in my life, not early on, later, obviously, by the ability to control my emotions, not letting it could be a difficult situation, but I didn't let my emotions control me. Because sometimes if you let your emotions control us, we will make bad decisions. And then after the fact, we'd be like, man, I can't believe I did that. That's because we wasn't able to control our emotions. So you got to try to do that at the best of your ability.
I read a scripture, I don't know if this applies. It was in Proverbs 16. It said, pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times, you know, a guy told me a long time ago, man, sometimes you got to learn how to swallow your pride.
Yeah.
Be humble.
Be humble, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you gotta you can get caught up emotionally in some situations, you know, with our children. You can get caught up emotionally. Because I remember somebody telling me her daughter got into something, and then her daughter got into something with another daughter, but the other daughter's mom came to her house with the daughter.
That would be me.
So that person's mother emotions got into the situation instead of letting kids do what kids do, you know.
Yep.
But you can tell in those situations. Now, say I remember one time kids came to my house, and they was a bunch of kids coming to do stuff that kids do. It's just child stuff, you know. And so they start busting the windows and everything. I said, man, they're adults now. And it was funny because I went out there, man, I was like, you grown now. You busting out our house. And it was funny because when we went to I literally had to go to court for I wasn't controlling my emotions. I was reacting off of what was happening to our home and feeling threatened. And the judge said, if they had came to my house, I would have did the same thing. Beat them right up like we went to the wrong person. But emotions is a lot of people who are literally in jail because they couldn't control their emotions. They are in jail for long periods of time.
Or no longer with us.
Or no longer with us.
They feel like their feelings would pass or.
Yeah.
That's true, cause and that's important because our emotional state or being able to challenge, I think that if we could just find a second to pause sometimes, like this is the opportunity to do this, and I think, you know. And I'm more clear-headed now. So if you're actively using, you might let your emotions get the best of you because you know you're chemical imbalance. So I get that. But I'm talking about, you know, after the fact that you're going through the ordeal of being withdrawn from the drugs and you're building your relationship and your recovery process, you have to find that particular balance like we were speaking on last couple of weeks. So let's move on to what is spiritual wellness? Who want to read?
I'll read it.
Go ahead, thank you.
Spiritual wellness involves finding your life's meaning and purpose and understanding the values, beliefs, and morals that guide your actions.
Nice. So we have a list here, and you got one on one side and you got one on this side. So we can go back and forth and read. You read one.
Yeah, one that says spiritual wellness is not And the other one states spiritual wellness is. All right, we're going to do the contrast.
Yeah, so you read one and read the opposite. I read one and read that like that.
All right.
Go on.
So the first one says spiritual wellness is not being a deeply religious person.
Yeah.
Spiritual wellness is having a relationship with your heart and your soul, essence of your being and life. You see the difference?
Yeah, it's a totally different, because some people get it so they when I talk about spiritual wellness, they automatically think, religion. They sing religion. I'm like, no, I need you to get out of it. I'm not trying to make you believe in religion. I'm trying to talk about being spiritually well.
Right.
Connected. Yourself, being in tune,
And that's having a relationship with yourself, because if you have that relationship with yourself, the beauty about having a good relationship with yourself, you won't cheat you. Like if you ever try to cheat somebody, you gonna be like, I ain't cheating myself. If I know I can have better, why I'm gonna just settle for less? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. So another spiritual wellness is going to a worship place on a regular basis. Spiritual wellness is having a relationship with the divine God. That's your personal relationship. So a lot of times people think because they go to this particular building, that makes them more spiritually well than a person who doesn't. So you got to really recognize that. Next.
All right, so spiritual wellness is not forcing a set belief system on self and expecting others to follow. It is having a relationship with people around you and relating to your environment and culture.
Yeah, having a relationship with the people around you.
Right, and letting them have their beliefs and it's okay.
And okay, because a lot of times I notice everybody can't do it. My wife and I, one of the greatest things that my wife and I have in common is to be able to adapt to any situation. Like a person's belief can be whatever, right? We're able to go in that circle and still be confident who we are, what we believe, and allow others to be confident in who they are and what they believe. And don't feel like it's a slight on either part. You have to be able to adapt to or having a relationship with the people around you, because if you have one-sided relationship and not be open to other people's views and opinions, you basically block them away from, like, I don't even want to be around them. They'd be like,
offer you something.
They'd be like,
energy is off.
Yeah, because like I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person.
Okay. Yeah.
So while like the organized version of it is not for me, there's still spirituality in my life.
Yeah.
And I can respect how
both sides.
others, right.
And that's why it's important, because that's a good example to have somebody like that, because a lot of times if one side is locked on, it actually ties into multiple pathways of recovery. Because if a person doesn't use your pathway, you block them out. They didn't go my way, so I'm not receptive of that. But that's not going to always work, you know what I mean? So you got to use the opposite.
All right, let's
go.
Let's talk about another wellness that is not living life according to rigid rules and cultural norms.
Oh, yeah, that's Craig enough.
One is experiencing life according to your life purpose and values.
We talked about that this Tuesday too. Saying if you got good values, you remember I used the example about you with the ethics that he had, but he didn't do this part because my value system says, nah, that's not right.
And there's consequences.
Yeah, then it comes down the line. Consequences, he be out the front. Hey, Randy, can you go get my bag out the office?
That picture on the wall.
Give me that picture, because when you get fired, you can't come back in the building. They did something unethical, man. Hey, man, I see you in the gym.
Fight card.
Hey, they changed the badges now. They changed your badges. But that was good, because right here it says experiencing life according to your life purpose and values. If you have a good value system, and that doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. You're not going to mess up. You're not going to do. But I'm talking about your 95% of the time, the value system you have in place stops you from doing something that you wouldn't do. And that's important, man. So the next one is spiritual wellness is not doing what you want to do and not caring for what others think because your way and belief system is the right way to live. I be around a lot of people who actually believe that, and I don't even know how to, I don't know, because I'm a flawed individual and I know it. I don't know how they ever got to the point where, well, they don't do this like this and then that's. I'm like, how do you even get that in your head? Like, because I always say, if it was possible to put their lives on the screen, like a big screen from the, I said, I bet they get off of that one. I guarantee you, they be like, oh, I changed my mind.
For the first stone.
Yeah, if their life was that all day from the time they got up and to the time they went to sleep, man, I said, ain't no way nobody. I'm saying, and I'm not saying you go intentionally go do this or do that or don't do it. I'm just saying that you can't force your belief system on other people's and say, this is it, and that's all you got to do. Yeah. Well, spiritual wellness is committing to your life purpose, values, and faith, surrendering to what is anything that is here in the present moment. Deal with the present. That's why I love that, because I always remember that my mentor told me the only power my past has over me is the power I give it. So I was like, yeah, because I will always be talking in our individual sessions, and for the whole year he documented the notes and he went through each lesson and he circled past for the whole year. He said, all you talked about was your past. I said, God, man, why do you keep that on file? He said, I saved it so I can circle and show you that you were so focused on your past that you couldn't focus on the present situation. And he said, your present situation, you haven't used drugs in a year, but you keep talking about yourself. Yeah, you want to say. So when you commit to your life purpose, values, and faith, surrender to what is. Anything that is here in the present moment, deal with that. That's what you should deal with. As you go ahead, you can read.
As you explore this list, what comes up for you? Where do you think you currently are? According to the above table, what does it mean to live from a spiritual wellness perspective? And what do you gain from that?
There's some good questions right there. Whenever y'all watch this video, y'all can answer these questions. Are you exploring this list? As you explore this list, what comes up for you? Where do you think you currently are according to the above table? What does it mean to live from a spiritual wellness perspective? And what do you gain from that? So whenever y'all get a chance, y'all can answer those questions for us. Why is spiritual wellness important? When we strengthen our spiritual wellness, we strengthen our relationship with others around us, breathe positivity into the spaces we occupy, impact our lives in a way that supports our life purpose and values, are mindful and at peace as we connect with others, are more likely to practice self-compassion, confidence, and resilience, and are accountable and responsible for our own actions. Accountability. You have to have some type of accountability partner. Somebody got to say, man, that's wrong. So you got to have accountability partner. If you don't have anybody that holds you accountable, you need to get out that circle. You got to get somebody to tell you, don't do that. That's not a good idea.
I like the one where it says, are more likely to practice self-compassion, confidence, and resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience is something where we, all those in recovery, is really stand for or define us as someone who's able to bounce back from some type of situation, turmoil, tragedy, and we're able to move forward. Like you just said, the guy you were dealing with the past, he wanted to get to see the present.
Never was able.
These all remind me of, like I'm in a 12-step fellowship. Yeah. So these are all principles that we learn to practice.
Nice. And that's good because Yeah, all of them are strengthening our relationship, bringing positivity to our spaces. Like you want that type of positive energy in your area. You can control the people who are in your space, especially when you're not incarcerated or in that room. Like you can't leave. You can leave the spaces that you might be around. People got all this negativity going on. I'll be like, I don't want to deal with that right now. Hey, good morning, Mr. King. How you doing, man?
Welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. King.
He always tuning in when we on here.
Good job.
Based on the benefits listed above, we can enjoy a prosperous life, being more connected to our life purpose and values. Grounds us into who we are as individuals. This grounding can manifest in a better relationship with ourselves and with others around us. Gaining a deeper connection to self leads to increased self-awareness, which supports how we think and behave. I told you, the way you think and how you behave is connected for real.
Self-awareness can be very powerful.
Absolutely.
Very powerful.
Self-awareness, slowing down and being mindful are benefits of spiritual wellness. Mindfulness supports us to be more present and focused on the moment. Mindfulness is a tool to practice our faith, our connection to the divine, and help us be more self-compassionate and better cope with adversities. Our choices in life are more, resonant with who we are as individual humans, and when we respond to any situation, we respond with less reactivity and more creativity. That's good. What can we do about the situation? Yeah, I know it's a problem, but what's the solution?
What's the outcome?
Yeah, we can go. We can take care of a lot more things if we focus on the outcome or some type of solutions. And again, we talking about spiritual wellness, which is one of the 8 dimensions of wellness. It's a very important part. All of them are important, but this is our last one so far.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Dangle.
What is spiritual fitness? Embracing spiritual wellness practices is our life build. Let me read that again. Embracing spiritual wellness practices in our life builds our spiritual fitness. There you go.
There you go.
Spiritual fitness is the overall health of our spirituality. It's a way of living according to what motivates us and engages us in life. How do you know that you are spiritually fit?
How do you know?
It's a question now. It's challenging us to think about what is fit and what is not fit. Okay, so the first one is spiritual drain, not fit. It says, I am pessimistic about the future of my life. Spiritual fit says, I am optimistic about the future of my life.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Totally two different.
One is having self-doubt, one having confidence.
Confidence about it. Like, I know. I don't know how it's going to, I know I'm going that way. Spiritually drained, I engage in moral behavior and decisions. Spiritually fit, I engage in sound moral behavior and decisions. Yo, that's so. Yo, I engage in moral behavior and decisions. Those things will always come back in here. But I got God. You know what I was thinking about as far as my past? I said, I was going to tweet it and I didn't tweet it. I tweeted at it. Don't bring your past into your present. And that means like whatever issues and stuff you had in the past, if it's gone, it's gone. Just don't bring it to your present. It don't fit. It don't work. It don't work when you do that.
It's like that expression, don't bleed on people that didn't cut you.
Yeah, don't do that.
Displace all that negativity.
Yeah, don't be bleeding. Because Craig, when he was in the program, he used to leak and bleed all the time.
He used to go get the mop bucket.
Go get the mop bucket. He over there leaking and bleeding. She put that one out. Oh, bleeding. I ain't catch you while you bleeding on me. He over there leaking and bleeding. Somebody get a bucket. This guy over here bleeding. Oh man, yeah. Go ahead. What's the next one?
All right. So spiritually drained, I am envious of others and hold grudges.
Wow.
Spiritually fit, I I am compassionate and forgiving of myself and others.
Nice.
Yeah, holding on to resentments will definitely keep you sick.
Yeah, it'll keep you all the way. You got brothers and shoo, I remember I was talking to somebody and they was telling about the thing that the person did, whatever they had done to them. And I said, man, when the last time you see? They said, no, they did. I said, what?
Still hold on to it.
I said, when last time, I'm thinking, it was so fresh that I'm thinking they just ran into him and they revived them. So I said, it was messed up what they did. But I said, when the last time you ran into him? They said, no, they did. I said, you can't cry.
Yeah.
I said, you holding that grudge is basically robbing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That person ain't thinking nothing about what they did.
Living their life. Here you are in captivity.
And it says, I am compassionate and forgiving myself and others. That means that person that died, you might just go ahead and let it go.
And that forgiveness is like for yourself. It's not so much for the other person.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Set yourself free.
yep.
Yeah, it's always forgiving is always for you. You're not responsible for what. You're not even responsible for them if they accept you forgiving them. Like some people, like you ain't gotta forgive me. Well, listen, it ain't about you anyway. I'm trying to free myself. Where we at?
Working on me. All right. It says spiritually drained, not fit. It says I have little respect for others and abandon my core values and beliefs. That's something to think about.
You abandon.
If you're thinking like that, I mean,
You got
you
no
check
filter,
yourself.
no filter, no brakes, no nothing. I'm doing whatever.
All right, spiritual fit. It says I have great respect for others and am committed to my core values and beliefs.
Submitted.
We used to do that in TC program, Therapeutic Community, and we used to have what we call core beliefs, and it was an exercise that we used to do, and it focused on the things that we pay more attention to out on this from our peers and those things that were going on around us in society, whether it be gangs or whatever, drugs, as opposed to how you was raised. Some people were raised core values, and belief system, principles.
Yeah.
And so they challenge us to think about if you do something positive, you get rewarded. You do something negative, you get punished. So look at it from different perspectives.
Good stuff. I lead from spiritually drained, not fit. I lead from my mind only. Spiritually fit, I lead from my mind, heart, and soul. The holistics. That whole, there you go. All of it. Holistic. There you go, right there. All of it. Mind, heart, soul.
Sometimes the mind, that first thought is the wrong thing.
Yeah, you be like,
you gotta kind of check with your heart and soul.
Yeah,
Everything's
Pull over, Paul, and pull over.
Pull over, Paul. Hey, she's right though.
Yeah.
If you just go like the first thing come to your mind, slow down, hold on. Maybe check with your heart. See, make sure it's right. Then you feel. I like to make decisions and stuff. I gotta have some type of peace about what I'm going to do. If I don't have no peace, and I don't have to explain at that moment why I don't have the peace. I just don't do nothing if I don't have peace. So the last one, what was the last one? It's on you.
Spiritually drained. I feel that my life is without purpose and nothing has meaning, not even my family or friends. Spiritually fit. I am motivated and engaged in my life and its meaning, and I enjoy being with my family and friends.
Nice.
I have a sponsee who is struggling with this concept right now. Like that hopelessness.
Yeah.
Even the people that love me don't just can't see it.
I'm looking at the drain part, and as you were reading the last part, it's like almost hit me. It's like people who are being in a state of depression. It's like an unhealthy state as opposed to somebody having a healthy.
Yeah. Not even my family or friends, but they really do.
Right.
But you have
Can't see it.
You just think they don't. they excited and have love for you, and you just don't see that they actually care about you and everything. Yeah, that is a bad place. That's spiritually drained, not fit. Where do you see yourself with spiritual fitness? It's perfectly fine if you are spiritually fit in some ways and spiritually drained in others. Awareness is the first step to making a difference for yourself and your life. So what this is saying is, if we read off some things and you find yourself in that spiritually drained area, being aware to admit, I'm on this side.
Identify that.
Yeah.
Identify
So
that.
now you can change something.
Yeah.
To work on.
Yeah.
So being aware of it is very key. Let's look at that last paragraph and we're done.
Let's look at physical fitness, for example. When someone says that they are physically fit, what do they mean? They likely have adopted a certain physical practice that keep them up with. They feel good about their body and health. When they get sick, they are likely to bounce back, resilient to their healthy state more rapidly. They live a lifestyle conducive to movement and physical activity. All right. So
Final, good.
Now, what can you do to live with spiritual fitness and practice spiritual wellness? What can you do?
All right. Now, final thought. Let's see what I got here. All right, let's get this on. Spiritual wellness is a part of balancing your life. When you take the time to care for your spiritual health as part of the holistic wellness approach, you can reach the promotion, delegate responsibility, be an inclusive leader, and set up goals aligned with your new role and more ease. And you can live a meaningful life connected to your core values, beliefs, and morals. Again, we were talking about the 8 dimensions of wellness. We went over a lot of these 8 dimensions of wellness. And this concludes our teaching on these 8 dimensions of wellness. If you want any of these lessons that we have went over, you can contact Craig or Rena and they'll get you copies of them. And they make sure you get the link to them. So now you can contact all of us and we'll make sure you get it. We thank y'all for tuning in today. Remember about the dates of the recoveries on wheels. We are currently open to the public. Everybody in the Cumberland County area, you are welcome to visit 72 North Pearl Street, Capital Recovery Center.
And we just want to share with you, Raina is not a guest.
No, she's not a guest. She is a recovery coach. So she's not a guest.
You can come in and see me too.
Yes. And if you have any, she's very versed in the 12-step area. If you have questions and answers about that, we can always resort to her because that's where she has a lot more expertise than us. And instead of giving you wrong information, now we have somebody that can give you the information.
Right.
Even if you need to find locations to meetings and all that stuff, just let us know and we'll hook you up with that.
Step by step.
Step by step. So with that said, we see you guys Tuesday at 10 a.m. for coffee and conversation. Try to come inside the building and you can attend the group with us. See y'all.